Experience the value. Get the cable's value bundle today. Internet, Ultra TV, free HBO Max, and a free Cable Platinum Loyalty MasterCard for only $157 monthly. Feel the thrill of 74 channels of Ultra TV. Feel the rush of the cable's 35 megabyte Bolt Internet. Maximum streaming entertainment is free with HBO Max and the ultra convenience of the Platinum Loyalty MasterCard. Shop, save, share, and don't forget, get a free internet upgrade when you pay your cable bills with Platinum Loyalty MasterCard. Not a cable customer? Sign up today and get more out of your internet, TV, shopping, and payment experience. The cable's value bundle: Ultra TV, internet, free HBO Max, and Platinum Loyalty MasterCard at $250 value for only $157 per month. Call the cable 465-2588 and come experience the value.
All right. Welcome to episode 78 of Only Good News. I just rushed over from the SKNOC, the Olympic Committee, where they have unveiled a brand spanking new renovated building. I remember back in my years of being active in track and field, going to that building, and big shout out to Glenn Jeffers, who would always be knowing exactly where the shoes were, where the track outfits were, where the spikes were, everything. But I'm pretty sure right now it is a lot more modern. It looks pretty good from the outside, and I left just as they were about to do the tour, so I saw them cut the ribbon thingamajig. But yeah, I'm here. I'm not late. I'm on time. Last week was great, by the way. Before we get into that, I want to shout out to our sponsor. We take these things for granted when we have them play these ads on the radio every week, but the cable is doing some marvelous things, and definitely under the auspicious leadership of Patricia Walters, and recently was inducted into the St. Kitts Pioneering Gallery of the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs. She was recognized for being the first female CEO of the cable, and she's been smashing ceilings left, right, and center. So the cable is, if you're a teacher, cable is offering you 100 megs for $139. 100 megs for $139. They're also offering you an entertainer's package for 160 megs for $97. This can only be approved through the Ministry of Entertainment, by the way. It's 160, so which means if you're a content creator, you are bandwidth thirsty, bandwidth hungry, you can get more done with 160 megs. And finally, they've brought back Platinum Fridays, where you pay $12 for movies instead of $17. And once you do that, you get $12 once you pay for your refreshments with your card. They're doing big things. We love them for what they're doing, and they have an amazing kick-ass staff. One of the best when it comes to customer service. So, see, they give us love, we give them back love. Turn down a little bit. So, but yeah, last week was good because my daughter was here, and Alora, that's Keisha Isaac Adams' daughter, was in the studio with us, and I went back and I watched a little clip of it. And it was a different kind of energy that we had in the studio, where you just had this whimsical energy of children talking, playing, interrupting, telling stories. And one of the most remarkable moments was at the end when Alora said, "Give love, or show love even to your enemies." Give love even to your enemies. This is an 8-year-old understanding the concept of showing love regardless. There wasn't any other better time for us to spread that message. It will be now. Read between the lines, those of you. So when you're meeting in threes, spread love. When you're meeting in twos, spread love. When you're meeting in ones, spread love. But it's specifically in threes, spread love. All right. Big story, Carice Hanley. That's forgot his name. He doesn't like me very much. her brother. He's normally on Island T. Can't remember his name. See, that's why I can't remember his name. His sister has been hired. Kevin, yes, has been hired as the first female pilot. Scasper. When I saw the news, I was like, "Whoa, she's a pilot, but she looks like she's on a ship." Until I realized that the word pilot is used for people who do the ship steering and whatever. So there she was in her uniform with her shoulder thingamajigs. I can't remember what they're called. When I was little, I always wanted to wear shirts with those things on them. But big shout out to women doing big things, man. This is the year of the woman. And still going along with women empowerment, the series of mentoring women has continued. This week, I recall seeing Gardenia Richardson rushing to the CUNA building saying she has to go and mentor some young women. And I think some people from the cable were there too. So it's good to see that International Women's Month is not just about March. Another bit of local good news is the St. Kitts and Nevis Department of Technology attains information protection certification. This is huge. So the Department of Technology in St. Kitts and Nevis attained the first ever, information protection certification following the presentation of the ISO 2701 certificate during a brief but significant ceremony on Wednesday at the ICT Center in Basseterre. Now, the certificate qualifies that the Department of Technology has a working framework consistent of a combination of policies and processes to protect its information through an adoption of world-class international information security system. Big deal. We're more compliant. That's all that's the saying. I'm happy to see that. Now, next story here is playing video games actually can be good for raising funds for people in Ukraine. So there's this group of people who have raised, let me see if I get this correct, 144, am I correct? Let me just wait for this to load. Is it 144 or 14 million? They've raised, do you guys know the video game Fortnite? $144 million has been raised for Ukraine relief. 144 million. Now, game developers are raising money for Ukrainians, both inside and outside, for the besieged outside of the besieged company, with donations rivaling the grants from the U.S. government. Now, ahead of the new gaming season, Fortnite developers Epic Games announced that all proceeds will go to a variety of organizations providing aid and relief to Ukraine. And the first day, they raised $36 million, growing to $144 million in 2 weeks. Says Epic said that the money will go to direct relief, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, the UN Nations Children Fund, and the World Food Program. Now, gamers and the video game industry are renowned for being extraordinarily generous, and other game companies are also pitching in millions. So Microsoft is pitching in. I think they've raised over $26 million as going towards Ukrainian relief. And this is just good to see that when bad things happen, good things can come from them too. Good stuff. All right. Now, because my guest who's coming up is very pet-centric, I thought this was a very good story to tell. This story here says, students write adorable letters on the behalf of shelter animals to boost their adoptions, and it worked. The persuasive words of an 8-year-old written in crayon cracked opened the hearts of potential dog adopters to empty kennel crates of a local shelter. Now, the handwritten personalized notes resulted in skyrocketing adoption rates for the poochies least likely to get adopted in the Virginia capital. So I'm seeing one here where it has a drawing of a dog, and in kid writing says, "My name is Sunday Special. I would like to be adopted. If you do adopt me, I hope I will brighten up your Sundays. You'll be my Sunday Special. I hope I'll be yours." Imagine seeing that note and seeing the picture of the dog and the drawing of the dog. You can't resist that, and that's a good thing. And so dogs are being given. Another one wrote, "Hi, my name's Cody, and I would love to be adopted. I would like a loving, caring family with a big fenced-in yard. Please be my owner. Ah, good stuff for pets. All right, next story here. Still along the lines of pets. There is this cat. A tiny Yorkshire, oh, this is good. Yorkshire Terrier detects breast cancer in woman jumping up and down on her chest in alarm. A Yorkshire Terrier saved her owner's life after jumping up and down on her chest to alert her to a cancerous lump. The 11-year-old pooch, Bella Boo, wouldn't settle in her usual sleeping space and kept trying to lie down on her chest despite being pushed away. The dog's odd demeanor continued for the next 3 weeks, and she even started to cry. When she wouldn't stop weeping, it left Karina concerned about her health, but baffled. The vets confirmed that she was fit and healthy. Karina called it a heartbreaking cry, and she thought the dog was obviously telling her something. And so eventually she started feeling around and she saw that there was a lump. And the doctors confirmed that it was breast cancer. And she went under some life-saving treatment and believes that the disease would have been missed if it wasn't for Bella Boo's actions. She said, I didn't think dogs could detect cancer. I thought it was just a hoo-ha really, but this really proves that they can. Good story. Good news. And the last story here. That story here talks about a very naughty cat. I don't like cats. Cats steal so many items from UK neighbors. She set up a klepto cat box so they can be reclaimed. Meet Britain's most prolific cat burglar, a cheeky feline who brings home stolen items including toys, cutlery, glasses, and even toy skateboards. Charlie, dubbed Kleptocat, pinches a random array of swag such as rubber ducks and plastic dinosaurs. And the owner, Alice Biggie, spends her time trying to reunite her one-year-old pet's victims with his stolen loot. She has even set up a shelf outside the wall and leaves bizarre items he brings home, with the sign saying, "Our cat Charlie likes taking things. Do any of these belong to you? If they do, please help yourself." All right, that's it for our top stories, for good news, things that make you smile and make you feel good and have that renewed hope and faith in humanity. We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by my guest who is across the waters in the island of Nevis. No, they haven't seceded. They're still with us, and she will be in just a few minutes. All right, bye.
When things get tough, we all need more bang for our buck. The Cable is here to help. Sign up now for a new cable internet package and be one of 10 weekly winners of free gas and groceries. Compliments your ultra cool internet and ultra TV provider, The Cable. Fill up your car and your cart. New winners will be announced weekly. Plus, when you sign up for internet, you could win free weekly fill-ups of $100 for an entire month. All new sign-ups are eligible, and there is no deposit and no installation fee. And cable internet packages start at $97 per month. Sign up today at The Cable and get more.
And we're back. I hope I can see my guest. Is she on? All right. Yes, I can see you. Oh, my goodness. So, here's a little bit of a disclaimer. People, the energy that's going to be created tonight is going to be organic. And believe it or not, this is the first time Kamara and I are conversing. We've never met. We've never had a conversation. Besides the occasional likes on Facebook. But, you know, we're about to embark on a little journey. And I hope taking you guys along with this will result in lots of smiles by the end of the evening. So thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm upset.
What's up?
I'm upset.
You upset? Why?
Yes. How could you not like cats?
Oh, because I love dogs.
Well, I love dogs too, but I love cats and all other animals in between.
Cats are not very loyal, and right now I'm dealing.
Oh, you've not met the right cat.
Sounds like the story of my life when it comes to women. But anyway, I digress.
Pun intended.
Ooh, told you good energy. I haven't met the right cat. Thankfully, you didn't say the word that normally precedes cat that we would like to
No.
talk about. You know, there's this movie, Shrek. What was the name of the cat that was in Shrek? What was his name
Puss
again?
in Boots?
Oh!
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Beware. All that's missing is the big eyes.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. So yeah, I don't like cats. And there's a dog, my daughter's dog, her name is Cream. And Cream behaves like a cat. She knows
Well,
exactly.
I have a cat here that behaves like a dog.
Oh, that's a gangster cat.
Well, yeah, she's a bad kitty.
When
In
they
a good
know,
way.
the thing is, they know
In a
what
good way.
they know what to do, what the right thing is to do, and they choose not to do it.
Like I said, you haven't read the right ones.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. This is projection. You're projecting. That's what you're doing. You're projecting. My goodness, I had an icebreaker, but you already broke the ice. But it doesn't matter. I'm gonna break the ice still. Okay? So I know you could. I know you like to laugh. I picked that up already.
Yes,
So I'm gonna make you laugh. We're gonna go through
some more.
some animal jokes, riddles, and we'll just get through these quickly and break the ice. All right. What did the dog say when he sat on sandpaper?
Sandpaper. The dog sat on sandpaper.
Rough. All right, next one. Why did the poor dog chase his own tail?
I have no idea.
He was trying to make both ends meet. All right, next one. Next one. Why are dogs like phones?
Why a dog like phones?
Why are they like phones? Yeah. Because they have caller ID. Right.
Those jokes from? They're so corny.
Of course, I'm a corny dude. This is the dad joke, all of that. That's me, right? Next one. Why don't dogs make good dancers? This is also partly my reason why I'm not a good dancer. But anyway, why do dogs not make good dancers? You should know this. Because they have two left feet. All right. But on Bush. Next one. What did the teacher say when the horse walked into the class?
I don't know.
Why the long face?
Seriously.
All right, next one. Why do pandas like old movies? You should get this one correct.
They're in black and white.
Right, there you go. And almost last one. Can a kangaroo jump higher than the Empire State Building? Yeah, because builders can't jump. All right, and the last one.
I thought that was the last one.
What do rabbits like to eat for breakfast?
What?
IHOP. IHOP. All right. So, yeah, I know. But you know, I came up with the best recipe for making jerk chicken, and it's different from anything you've ever heard before, and I think you would appreciate it. All you have to do is to get 2 chickens and whisper to one of them, "Hey, that chicken thinks you're a chicken," right? And don't tell the other one what that one said, and go to the other one and say, "Hey,
Well, you're a jerk.
that chicken guess what happens? They fight and fight until they start speaking a lot of foul language, which is analogous and synonymous with being the biggest jerks. And then they end up committing, like killing themselves off. And once you take those and just put them on the grill, you would end up with the most succulent, best of jerk chicken ever. You're welcome. We're broken the ice. You feel good?
We're good.
So in preparing for the show, I found out that you're not from St. Kitts and you're not from Nevis, and you're from a very cold place where they say "eh" at the end of each sentence, and from St. Lucia. So when I say the word home, which of these places instantly comes to mind? Affectionately, which place?
All of them.
All. Ooh, melting
Yes,
pot.
I have many homes.
You have many homes. So,
Yes.
so this is now a pie chart. You're not escaping this, you know.
I know, and it often confuses people, especially when they hear my last name, because it's not native to think it's the Nevis.
No, it's not.
No,
But you
it's
could
not.
pass, eh? You could
I
pass.
think so.
You-
I think so. I can pass for a lot of things depending on my mood.
Yeah,
When
you
I'm
could
ready to
pass
mess up, so.
for the lady from Encanto.
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently, there's a likeness, especially when I'm in my work clothes. So.
Uh-huh. So Canada, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Lucia.
Yes.
Anywhere else is home?
Wherever I have close friends, so I consider like St. Vincent, Tobago, Barbados, Dominica, anywhere that I have close friends or family. Once I get there and I feel at home, then I am home.
So you're multinational.
Yeah, I like to call myself a calabash.
You're a nomad.
Everything just thrown in and mixed up in between.
Sweet. So now I want to know though, but now you reside in Nevis, and I want to know, what is it about Nevis that has given every other place competition for being called home?
Well,
And make sure you give Nevis its fair share, by the way.
No, Nevis is going to get its fair share, right?
Right, because
but
the sheriff will come for you if you don't.
I'm not even going there with you. But yes, initially it wasn't by choice. Canadian born to a Dominican mother and a St. Lucian father.
Wow.
However, my Dominican mother, her mother is Nevisian. And as relationships go, that one didn't work out, and she came home to mama, literally speaking, and brought me in tow. So I have spent a good portion, 3/4 of my life, pretty much, between St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Lucia, back and forth. But pretty much settled into Nevis when I got to high school, because at that point in time I couldn't travel that much. And so just from there on, and just became stationary pretty much. Finished my education here, my secondary school education here.
Wow.
Went off to University of the West Indies, came back, taught for a while, and then went back and got my vet degree, and then came back again.
So that's in 2011. You decided to become a pet detective. So how did you react? Listen, listen carefully. I'm gonna ask a question. I want you to listen very carefully. Back in 2011, you decided to become a pet detective. How did you react when you got your first bite from an animal? How did you react when you got your first bite I didn't say bite. I said bite
Oh,
from an animal. Okay, go
right.
ahead.
My first bite actually was when I was younger.
What kind of animal was it?
It was a dog.
It was a dog. Oh,
Yeah.
a
I've,
dog.
I've been around animals pretty much all my life.
Wow.
So yeah, from my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
um, my grandmother here in Nevis, she always had livestock, sheep, goats, dogs, rabbits, cats. And
Mm.
then my grandfather in St. Lucia, he was a veterinarian.
Oh.
And so when I used to go and visit in St. Lucia, I used to spend a lot of time with him. So I've always been in and around animals from since even in Pampers. I've always been around them. So it's just natural to me to gravitate towards animals. So I've wanted to be a vet from since maybe cemented in my brain since 8 years old. Many persons that I've gone to school with who know me would tell you, yeah, from since Kamara is in like primary school, she's always said she wanted to be a vet. So even though I'm kind of made a detour here and there because life happens, yeah, I eventually came back to that aspect and just pursued it.
Wow. Interesting. So, your first bite was from a dog, and then your next bite was from a cat.
I haven't been bit by cats actually.
Oh, okay. I haven't been bitten by cats too, but I did get a bite from a cat. Okay, and that's why I don't like cats. Once, once bitten, twice shy. They say, right?
Yes.
And imagine once bitten by an animal that has nice 9 lives. What you gonna do?
Walk away.
Right. So, well, I want to know now. What's the coolest thing about vet school that people would never know until they actually get to experience it?
The coolest thing is has to be the animals that you get to interact with that you wouldn't normally get to outside of vet school.
Like a koala bear and a kangaroo?
Yeah, all the exotics.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
right. So like before, I would have been exposed to, rabbits. The most exotic things would have been like iguanas, maybe snake, rabbits, those things, turtles, dogs and cats and livestock and so on. But then in vet school, I did my vet school. My education was at St. Matthew's School of Vet Medicine.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a sister school to the Medical University of America School here in Nevis,
Oh.
right? And that campus is based in Cayman, but the system is similar to that of Ross and other vet schools, Caribbean-based vet schools. So I did all my, theoretical, practical stuff and everything else in Cayman, and then my clinical year, my rotational year, I did in Mississippi, at Mississippi State University, their School of Veterinary Medicine there. And I chose that even though everyone was watching me like, Mississippi? Right? I'm like, yeah, because of the rural nature that the school caters to a lot of a lot of farmers, farming areas and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there, even though I knew I would do the regular like dog and cat stuff and livestock stuff and everything else, part of the livestock section was actually exposing you to other animals like llamas. And they're the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
With the
camelids and all those other types of animals. And then, visiting the zoos and rescues and stuff like that. So one of the coolest things I actually did, we did a surgery on a rescue tiger.
Ooh, what did it
Right?
look like
It was a
inside?
dental. It was a dental.
Okay.
And I was like, this is the coolest thing I'm ever going to do in my life.
Wow. Was it big?
Right. And yeah, so I think it kind of ticked off a lot of encounters in terms of animals that I would like to meet in my life. Right. But there are only two animals really and truly that I really look forward to that's on my bucket list. And well, three actually. That's elephants, giraffes, and zebras.
You haven't seen them yet?
No, I have not have had the privilege of seeing them live and up front and in person.
My
Like
producer,
and I don't count going to a zoo being outside. I mean like truly
safari in
interacting
the
with
yes,
them.
in the natural
Yeah.
habitat.
Yes.
I want to see those. So I've seen an elephant. I don't think I've touched one, but I mean back in Nigeria, in the zoo where on the campus we were on, I do remember seeing an elephant, gorillas, python. But yeah, I would definitely love to go on a safari. That's one of the things on my bucket list. That, and I've said many times I want to go on a global fruit tour. I want to go to different
tour.
countries and just eat different fruits.
Eat fruits.
Yeah, that's it. That's a thing. It's an underrated experience, but it's a thing. I want to go and taste what they say maybe the best tasting mango, the best tasting apple, the best tasting grape, all of these things. I want to go and just experience them from all these different countries. So bucket list. That's one of the things that when I'm successful in a few weeks, claiming it, I will be able to afford that.
Kick it into existence.
Sweet. So there has to be that one animal, if it's brought into the clinic for treatment, internally you're saying, oh no, not today. What animal is that?
Have I ever had that experience?
Come on.
Actually, I have that experience with like clients that bring in pets.
Yeah, we have
I
it with
don't have
people.
with the animals.
Oh.
So maybe maybe human beings, but I haven't had that experience with animals.
Caesar
Yeah,
Milan would always say he trains people and rehabilitates animals. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not actually a good reliable source.
Oh, shade.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw shade on that one.
Wow. He's just for the TV then.
Yes.
So
Unfortunately.
he's not gonna show us when he got bitten now.
No. Well, there have been instances where they have shown him getting bitten, and he's definitely asked for it. And that's one of the areas that I have actually done a lot of schooling in and extra courses and stuff like that, because I do have my own pet service.
Perfect pets grooming and consultation.
Yes, right. And pet training and behavioral assessments are one of the things that I do. So like basic training where, the owners just want the pets, like sit, stay, lay down, that kind of stuff. That's basic training. And then there's behavior modification, which is what Caesar tries to do. Yeah. But he doesn't do it to the best of standards, right? Kind of harmful, not just to himself and the animal, but to the pet owners also. But yes, there is a for TV element in that. So I tell people, like, I give them resources. There are a lot of reliable resources, safe resources that they can tap into, even if they don't have someone at hand to help them go through things. And sometimes I'm asked, so what's the difference between training and behavior modification? Mm-hmm. And basically, like I said, basic training is like when you have a puppy and you want them to learn the ropes and know what to do from what not to do in a healthy environment. Mm-hmm. But behavior modification, in essence, is the animal has an issue. It's either born with an issue, it's an issue that has been brought on by a medical condition, mm-hmm. or it's an issue that has been brought on by trauma.
It's therapy.
And yeah, pretty much. Pretty much therapy. So for the behavior modification part, I've had clients with dogs who have had anxiety, mm-hmm. Aggression issues, um, destruction issues, a whole plethora of other things. And it's almost when you go in, it's not just like, okay, you want your dog to sit and stay and whatever it is. Basically, I have to do an assessment, a clinical assessment,
Mm-hmm.
to figure out whether or not what's going on is based on something medical that needs to be treated by a vet, medically treated,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's something that needs behavioral drugs or behavioral techniques, training, stuff like that, to bring the animal at least close to normalcy as possible.
You know, what you're talking about is a segue into. I mean, I'm going to skip some of the things I was going to talk about, but it's a segue to something I want to touch about. And we may spend some more time on this. Because, on my promo post, by the way, guys, I made her blush. Love for animals is synonymous with having, in my opinion, a beautiful spirit. But what people don't know is that when they love you back, it releases the happy hormone. And so,
Oxytocin. Yep.
right. So I want to know, how have animals helped you along your journey when it comes to mental health and intentional healing? We're going to dig a little bit into this.
Okay, so you're digging into my mental health advocacy here.
Yeah.
Um,
The show is
yeah.
about you and your truths. And let me tell you, right? I admire you tremendously for not being afraid to own your truth. And it's a critical step towards true healing, especially when it
Yes.
comes to unresolved trauma. So owning your truth and being an
Yes.
advocate for that, kudos.
Yes.
So I want to talk how
So,
pets have helped you, animals have helped you along, and we're gonna get into how
okay.
this can help other
Yes.
people too.
So growing up, I was pretty much a loner. I was the only child for a long while,
Okay.
right? Introverted, head always in the books, kind of weird, kind of nerdy.
Wow.
Um, and
Interesting.
being around my grandmother, there were plants and then there were animals. And I've always had this thing with animals that they I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's I gravitate to them or
Oh, they
they
know.
gravitate to
They know
me.
who. They know who. Trust me.
Right. So that's been my comfort for from since I've been growing up. They've actually been my comfort. And I've been through a lot of things. Some people like to ask me, well, how are you still here? Yeah, right. But in in when I was I think, yeah, 2012 when I was in vet school, I
Mm-hmm.
had a breakdown due to some stuff that was going on in the family setup and everything else, and it
Mm-hmm.
affected me while I was in school. And my school was gracious enough. They had a training dog called Dolly,
Hmm.
and they said her time is done with the school. Do you want her? She'll make a great emotional support dog. And while I was going through that difficult moment, I knew dogs had this affinity to help in general, but Dolly, whew, she she just brought it to a whole nother level for me, where I would have my moments and she would just climb up on the bed or the chair and just be there with me. She would know instinctively when I had like migraines and so on. She would let me know. I could be even before the throbbing actually started in my head and stuff like that. So
Wow.
she was instrumental in me actually finishing vet school, right? And I took her with me to Mississippi, and she became like a mother dog to other dogs that I would end up having. Like my little man, I call him Wyatt. When I first got Wyatt, he was a rescue and he had severe separation anxiety. And the first time that she calmed him down, the neighborhood thought I was still home, because when I used to leave, the whole neighborhood used to know I was leaving. But there was this one day I was walking out and I just heard quiet. And when I looked back, because I panicked and I went and looked back, she was there comforting him. And she was
Oh.
like the most amazing dog ever.
Wow.
And it was then I'm like, yeah, I'm on the right track here, right? And continuously, I've had my set of relationships and heartbreaks and up and down and low moments and everything else. And my pets have been there for me, comforting me, um, knowing, just giving support and love and attention and joy and laughs and everything. So, I mean, yeah,
Wow.
I just love my babies.
So
they give
I'm gonna pry
they
a
give
little
me a
bit.
purpose.
If is it different when is it even that much heightened when the person you're involved with loves them just as much as you do?
Yes, but unfortunately, that ain't happened yet.
Oh, that must be rough. Rough. That must be rough. Rough. That's what the dog
There,
said.
there's been some pretenders, some kind of okay, but never to my capacity. And I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that because I don't want anyone to come and feel like they have to put up with something, I mean, there's always compromise,
Hmm.
but I don't want anyone to come and feel that they have to like accept all the chaos because it does get chaotic, especially when I'm pet sitting. Um,
I can
and I have
imagine.
a full house.
What's a full house?
Right.
Like four
A
dogs?
full, full house means like I got a lot of little critters running between my legs. When I
Oh.
get home, I open the door and there's of like five, six, seven, eight heads. Like right now, I am pet sitting. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight, yeah.
Wow.
I have eight of them with me right now that I'm pet sitting here at home. And then I'm also pet sitting off site, which is at the client's home. So I have my
Wow.
schedule, mornings and afternoons, whatever the clients need me to do. I go to their properties, I sort the pets out, make sure they're okay, make sure the property is secure, all that good stuff.
You're a lover of animals. I mean, I knew you were, but this is amazing, and it's helped you. It's
It's
helped you.
off-putting for some people.
No, 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 no. Let's focus on you. It's helped you, and
Yes.
and without them, you probably would not be as strong as you feel now. Am I correct?
They are a factor. There are other factors. I have other supports. I have a very good support system outside of the pets, and I like to say I am multidimensional. So it's not just about the animals. I mean, people know me mostly about the animals, but then there's also this thing where when they first meet me, they don't even believe that I'm a vet or that I work with animals. I don't know why. It's like, oh, you don't look like a vet. I'm like, what does a vet look like? Right.
Well,
And I guess because of the way I speak and I express myself too, they're like, oh, I thought you'd be a lawyer or something like that. I'm like, lawyer? No. And then when people see me like, in my regular day, like hot myself, covered in fur or in my coveralls and boots and everything else, it's like
oh, you're a bet.
kind of off-putting.
Wow.
The numbers don't add up for them when they see me in different aspects.
Well, I like it, and I hope people who are listening can appreciate the value of animals being a source of support.
Yeah.
That's just a
Yeah, and
source.
what I like, what I love too, and that is one of my babies looking for attention right now. If you hear it in the background,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. But what I also um, love too is helping other people take care of their pets. I think even if I didn't have my own pets, then that would still be a source of motivation for me to help other people ensure because they have their pets like their family members, even those persons who have them as working animals and so on, they try their best to look out for them and that is my motivation to help persons as much as possible take care of their pets, because I know that their pets in return take care of them.
And what you don't know is that sometimes what you post on social media helps human beings too. So today, you post it. Some days it's about productivity and efficiency. Some days it's about happiness and love. Some days it's about hard work and progression. Some days it's about all of the above. And some days it's simply about getting through the day and knowing that even if everything is not going all right, you're still going to be okay.
Yeah.
And, I picked up on your empath energy from afar. And I want us to get a little bit into this energy zone a bit more, because people don't seem to know how much of a virtue and a vice this can be for people like us. So do you think that you were born as an empath, or have your life experiences molded you into one?
Um, hmm, that's a double-edged sword.
I know.
Both, actually.
I know.
um, it's weird because growing up, certain things I couldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
In processing how being in certain environments would have affected me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would have absorbed a lot of things that I shouldn't have, or had I been cognizant that I was doing it, I would have, changed my mindset or changed the environment as much as possible and stuff like that. And then on the other hand of it, going through a lot of challenges in my life and dealing with them, especially in the past maybe 3-4 years, kind of doing a boot camp sort of thing in terms of understanding and realizing, where all of this falls into play in my life, and becoming less religious and more spiritual, if that makes sense.
Yep.
In terms of understanding my place and my position and how I attract the things I attract, and how
Say
it
that
affects
again, man.
not just me, but persons in extension of myself. Right? So coming to terms with that was oh, okay. So that's what it is. I'm not really crazy.
Right.
Right. And then having friends and family and other persons, just reinforce that.
Validating. They affirm and validate.
That.
Yep.
Yeah. In terms of coming to me and saying, like for the last week, I had a friend that was going through something. And I was perfectly fine. And then 1 minute I was perfectly fine. And then the next minute I was just down in the dumps and just all moody and stuff. And I'm like, this is weird. This is not hormones. This is not depression. This is something off. Right. And then the next day I was speaking to her and I asked her, were you crying or were you whatever it is? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, that explains it. So I really wasn't crazy. And she laughed and she said, no, it's just that empath thing that you do.
Trust me. Sometimes
Right.
sometimes I pick up when things are going to fall apart. I literally and sometimes I'm like, okay, don't think about it. And you're trying to prevent. And even while you're trying to prevent it, it's almost like you see the future.
You can't prevent it.
You can't prevent it. It just happens. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to, and I'm like, you can't stop it.
And it's a helpless feeling.
It is.
It is a helpless feeling, but it's something that you have to understand that you have no control over. Just accept it and deal with whatever it is as it comes.
So there's a lot of power that rests within an educated empath, especially when it comes to dealing with toxic traits from others. And I want you to talk a little bit more about how you've been able to channel this energy in such a way that results in surprise from others, while you inherently know you're doing nothing wrong. I know you go through this. I don't know you, but I know you go through this. I caught you off guard. Oh, you got stuck. You're frozen. All right. So her face is frozen. I don't know if it's her internet, but we've been talking to the doctor Camara Louise, and her face is stuck. I think I threw her for a bit of a tailspin. Oh, I'm seeing something moving. I'm seeing something moving. Is she reconnecting? Is she coming back? Is she coming back? All right, so she's gonna join. She's gonna join back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But yeah, we're covering a phenomenon that doesn't really get spoken about very often in these parts, and that energy of empathy, and that people tend to sometimes not relate to, and don't understand why those types of persons would react in a particular way, why they would feel an emotion, and not knowing how to deal with it, and not knowing how to process it, and not knowing how to be accepted for it. And it's a beautiful thing, and at the same time it can be debilitating when you start to feel things that you're helpless towards. So we're hoping. I'm asking, has she connected back? She hasn't connected back. Okay. Aw. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, I didn't really prepare for this, I'm going to talk about what we're saying. What we're talking about is relative, is relevant to what would have happened, I believe, last week with Will and Jada. And I saw a video just today where Jada would have been recording Will and asking him a question about whether something about the red table and it helping them through their relationship. And he's saying, listen.
Hi.
Oh, you're back.
Yes,
good.
blame Flo.
Oh, blame Flo. That's why you should get the cable, yo. Blame Flo. That's why you should get the cable, yo. Blame Flo. That's why you should get the cable, yo.
Yeah.
Blame Flo. That's why you should get the cable, yo. Oh. Yeah.
Yes, as I was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so animals can pick up on that, and apparently I can too, and other people get very uncomfortable. Yeah, I've been told that I people are uncomfortable when I look at them. It's like I'm reading them or looking straight through them.
Mm-hmm.
One, two, even if I haven't had any kind of interaction with that person before, they tend to project onto me.
Yep.
So I tend to feel what they're feeling, and that in itself, when I start to speak and so on, makes people uncomfortable. Persons just don't have a liking because of that discomfort.
And plus, you can look into their eyes when you look into their eyes too, and that makes them feel weird.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's something that has happened since I was growing up, and now that I understand what it is, I'm like, okay, I'll just wear my glasses, I'll put on my sheets, whatever. Develop the habit from small of not looking directly at people, so I tend to look down a lot when speaking to persons, just not to have that discomfort, right? But it's a learning process. It's a learning process.
How has it positively impacted your parenting style, though?
I have an awesome daughter. Oh. Yes.
You can't get a better answer than that. Yes, she had a great week last week, right? What was the highlight of her week? What do you think it was?
Her highlight would have been her birthday present. She's very artistic.
Yeah, I can see.
She's technological and she's artistic, and she likes to combine the two.
Ooh.
So I got her an art pad.
Wow.
The pads that you hook up and you can do the digital art. And
yeah,
all that
I have
kind
one. I was doing one today.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, and she hyperventilated.
Oh, that's lovely. So she's gonna start doing more stuff digitally now.
Yes. She has been doing some stuff in the past, but because of school and everything else. She actually does art and design as one of the courses. She's in the A levels.
Oh.
And so there's some requirement in terms of pieces that she has to do. So she's been focusing on them, but she's excited to get those out of the way so that she can go and do her stuff, as she calls it, where she just zones out on a canvas. When she's stressed, she paints and she draws and she doodles and stuff. And so she just zones out and she spends a whole night just doing pieces and experimenting with different techniques and so on.
Wow. We have like 2 more minutes, I think, and they're just telling me that we have to definitely have a hard cut because of, there's a town hall meeting coming shortly. But Quill, yes or no? Is she gonna follow in your footsteps from 1999? Winning pageantry and stuff.
No.
Okay. And here's a fun fact for you.
You did your research.
I always do my research, man. I can't just come over here and just,
I like to say in a former life. That was a former life.
1999. He's asking me what year was it. And do you know that your birthday is 10 days before mine? Anyway, we're both Mays.
Oh, you're a bull.
I'm a goat. All right, the rapid fire question session is 10 questions. I'm gonna ask them quickly. You answer them as honestly as you can. If you don't feel comfortable, you just say pass. All right, I'm asking first person. Number 1, best thing that happened to me this year was
retiring.
Whoa. All right, number 2, I can't wait to sink my teeth into this meal.
Pizza.
My superpower as a woman is
I'm too strong.
ooh, if I can be reincarnated, I would love to be this animal.
Dolphin.
Oh, yeah. All right. Male dogs or female dogs?
Male.
Oh. All right. I may be a vet, but when I see a centipede, this is how I react.
I hate centipedes. I'm not afraid of them. I just don't like them. They're creepy.
All right. All right. Next one. Yep. I do have a celebrity crush, and it is.
Are you what?
Who?
I didn't hear the question.
Yep. I do have a celebrity crush, and it is.
I don't even know.
Okay. Number 8. In an argument. Who?
Idris.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Number 8. In an argument, this is a cheat code you can use to get me to simmer down.
Breathe.
Breathe. So we just have to breathe and then you simmer down? Okay.
I have it tattooed on my hand.
Oh, all right. Number 9. Being in nature makes me feel
Peaceful.
Number 10. Best part about being on this show is
I laughed a lot.
that's the best piece of news I've had for the day. I'm glad that you laughed. And we've met virtually, and the next part will be in person one of these days. Come to Nevis and get to see all those critters that are running around your areas, yards.
The unused item from that encounter might be me filming you up in a tree or something.
Oh no. They know their kind. Believe me, they know their kind.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a very good way. In a very, very good way. I've only been bitten once by a dog. Okay, but
I lost count.
You lost count from the dogs you got bite from, not bitten.
Both.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I feel great. You feel awesome. You're wonderful, and we'll keep in touch. All right.
Yes, indeed you do.
All right.
Thank
bye.
you for having me.
All right. Later.
All right.
Bounce to the ounce, pick it up, put it down. Wanna put his nutty buddy in my fudge round. Tight than a she ain't had it like this. Toes curling like they throwing gang signs on crib. One thing about me, I ain't taking no shit. He will. I know it's not his old bitch. I got his train. Try to let a dog know who really running things.
It's 8:02. We now take you to Pam Town Hall meeting that's coming to you live from Connery.